Hey real estate agents, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about how to invest in real estate with no money down or very little money down. And I'm going to tell you, I created a real estate portfolio at one point valued over $35 million in real estate. And the techniques that I'm going to teach today are ones that I use primarily to do that. So tune in. I'm going to share all the secrets and tips. Hi, I'm Guillermo Salas, former attorney turned real estate agent, and I'm going to share every tip, trick, system, and process that I've ever created and use to create multiple leverage of businesses and multiple passive sources of income, including today when I'm going to talk about how I created a $35 million real estate portfolio using techniques that I'm going to share today. So please hit the subscribe button on the channel, hit the notification button so you hear about all the content before everybody else. All right, let's jump into it. So one of the first techniques that you want to learn in terms of how do you invest with as little money down as possible. In some cases, no money down. In other cases, very little money down as it relates to the total value of the project. And so the first thing I did, and this is a personal, I did this, follow my blueprint. I formed a partnership and I went out and shopped deals to people, but I didn't just shop it to anybody. I went out and looked for people who really didn't know much about real estate, successful in other parts of their lives, had a lot of money, but they were otherwise super busy. And you can think about who that might be, right? Doctors, lawyers, accountants, they've got super sophisticated, very successful, very bright, and they want to diversify their holdings. And so you, as the real estate expert, and that was me, I knew real estate, I'd studied real estate, had done it at a small level, buy onesies, twosies, and I wanted to take it to the next level. And that's what I did. I actually pitched a couple business deals, and what you'll learn is the first few ones, they're going to say no.
No, God, please, no, no!
Right? And so one of the big practice points I messed up on was when I pitched the deals, I was trying to hold on to the majority of the equity myself, 50, 70, 80, 90%, but I didn't have any money. Or I didn't want to put a lot of money. Actually, the reality is I didn't have a lot of money. And so asking for the lion's share of the equity is not going to resonate with people who have the money. So what I did was I pitched a $5 million deal and I asked for a 15% stake in it. And I said, here's what I would do. I would just quarterback the deal. I'm going to find the property. I'm going to locate it. Once I locate it, I'm going to get it on the contract as the real estate agent. I'm going to get my commission, right? I'm going to get it from contract to close. All the things that need to happen, I'm going to just put it on my shoulders. And for all intents and purposes, call it sweat equity. Right? That means doing the inspections, lining up the financing for people, negotiating deal, and getting to closing. And for that, I said, hey, I'm going to do all this stuff and I'm going to baby it and I'm going to get to the finish line and I want 15% of the equity. When I finally took it from hey, I want 70% to 15%, I finally got somebody who said, yeah, that makes sense. It was a really nice deal. It was a rich deal. We found somebody who had some other projects that were not working so well. And so we essentially got a mismanaged set of apartments and they were cash flowing really nicely. They just need to be managed better and get them into a higher level. And so, yeah, I did that. And here's the other tip. One of the things you can add to sort of the value proposition as you're forming this partnership is hey, I will manage this after the fact. Now, don't roll that into your sweat equity. Make that one of the deal terms that, hey, I'll manage this afterwards for a standard property management fee. So I literally did this in order to transition from my lawyer career into a real estate career. Got a big set of properties, got a nice commission, right? I didn't roll my commission into the deal. It was straight sweat equity. And then I said, hey, I'm going to property manage this. I'm going to do the leasing for us afterwards. And that was a great source of income until I got my real estate career sales side of things going to the level that I needed to support and basically supplement or replace my income as a lawyer. So that's tip number one, form a partnership. And the key piece is identify people who are busy, have money, and want to invest, and they just need somebody they can trust to guide them and put them into a vehicle that will actually grow their business. And that's what I did. I found something that was 30% rate of return annually when they were putting their money in a savings account that was getting them 0.001%. So it was a no-brainer for them. They just needed somebody to take all the risk and the anxiety and all the busy work away off their plate so they can invest and just get that mailbox money. So that's tip number one. Okay, so second technique that you can use, and this one is a little money down, not no money down. It's the FHA Live-In and Move Up. And so there's 3 techniques that you can use for the Live-In and Move Up on the FHA. But first, let's discuss the pros and cons. So the pros of an FHA loan is great interest rates, right? Typically lower than other loan products. Number two is the down payment, way lower. So you're talking about 3.5% down versus other investment properties. You might have to put down 20 or 25%. And another pro is that you can invest up to a fourplex. Great option. Now let's talk about the cons. Cons is, yeah, you can only invest up to a fourplex, unfortunately, right? It's no 5 units or above. The other con with FHA is that you have to, move into it within 60 days of purchasing it and then stay there for at least up to a year. And then the other piece is that there is mortgage insurance associated with FHA loan. But, as long as you know that with your eyes, all that stuff, with your eyes wide open as you go in, you can model for it and make sure that it's the right product for you. So now let's talk about the 3 ways you can use an FHA loan to build a real estate portfolio with very little money down. All right. First technique in the FHA live in and move up is what I call the rental. You buy a single family home, you live in it for a year, maybe you fix it up during that year, and then at the end of the year, you move out, you rent that unit, and then you use another FHA loan to buy another single family home, again with a low interest rate, low down payment, and you just keep on doing that over years. And so you think about that strategy, like if you're buying one every single year, after 10 years, you're gonna have a pretty sizable investment portfolio. So that is technique number 1. Technique number 2 is what I call the single house hack, right, to rental. And what that is you buy a single family home, but instead of just living in it by yourself, you're gonna rent out all the other rooms. Great for like somebody who's earlier on in their career, just rent out all the other rooms. You're subsidizing your costs of living, hopefully to zero, right? Or very close to zero. And in the meantime, again, you may be fixing it up. And at the end of that year, you then move out, rent the room that you were using out. So now it's completely a cash flow and asset for you. And then you go, again, execute another FHA loan, find another property and do it again. You can rent out rooms, or maybe you go back to technique number 1 where you just live in it for another year. Up to your choice and whatever you feel like at that point in time. But that's technique number 2. And finally, technique number 3 is the multifamily house hack to rental. And it's very similar, except now instead of just buying a single family home, you're gonna find a duplex, a triplex, a quadplex, remember, because you can't go more than a quadplex, and then you live in one unit and you rent out all the other units. And again, you gotta move into it within 60 days, live there for a year. At the end of that year, you rent out the unit that you were living in, go out, buy another triplex, duplex, quadplex, whatever it is, and repeat, rinse and repeat. And so think about, like, as you're doing this year after year after year, you're building equity. You got a little bit of money that you're putting out, 3.5%. Absolutely. It's such a great system to build a real estate portfolio. And that's what you should be doing. As real estate agents, you're out there understanding the market, have the inside knowledge of what markets are going to grow, which markets are performing well. Why not take advantage of this, right? That's why I got into the business not to be a real estate agent. I did it as an investor. And I was going to use the commission I earned on the front end and the commission that I saved on the back end to start building a real estate portfolio. So here are 2 absolutely bona fide techniques that the first one I use myself, the second one I've helped other clients do over and over and over. And think about how incredible that is. The second one, right? You can help other clients do this and teach them how to do this process. So not only is it going to help you grow your own real estate portfolio, because you're going to take those commissions and then go buy properties on your own, but you're going to help them meet their real estate goals. And they're going to create, basically the same client's going to keep on buying things every single year rather than on average 5 to 7 years. So you're growing your sales business and you're growing your real estate portfolio. What a better option, right? What a great way to live life.
Nice.
Thank you again so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification button so you hear about all the content before everybody else. Please comment on this, on my thing. It gets me juiced and gets me, more excited to get in front of the camera and keep on sharing these tips. Until next time, please go out there and cause and create miracles. Have a great day.